you doing, everybody? My name is Kitt. Welcome back to another video. Today I am joined by my friends Joanne, and there's me, Amina. That is not Amina, that is Rose. Anyway, and we're talking about motherhood. We are on a live right now. It's literally 2 minutes out. We're just about to start, and I'm going to record it so that we can have it for posterity. If you have not already subscribed, what you doing?
Subscribe. I had to go put perfume.
What you looking at? What you doing? Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let's get into the video.
Thank you so much. We needed to make sure everybody was here. The person who is the cause of our lateness. Please apologize.
Oh my gosh, in my defense, I said just start.
How could we start? Your face is on the poster.
Just starting a little, it was like for 10 minutes. Hi everyone. I can see some people are still joining.
Hi guys, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for waiting. So I want the ladies to introduce themselves, but how we'll do it, because you know them, right, is introduce yourself the way your child will introduce you. Yeah. How would your child
I literally have a video. I have
one word. In one word.
In one word. Okay. Oh, it was just one word.
Just one word. If there are many, it's okay.
Say, I think he'd say cool.
You're cool.
Cool a lot. Yeah.
I wish.
Okay, this is cool.
I wish.
Amina, aka
I told him I'm going to work.
Kids,
what should I say?
How would your child?
So I literally asked Kendi to describe me this morning, and I took a video. She said, "Mama, you are big, African, and brown."
Okay.
So I am a big African brown mama.
Those are many words.
That is Kitt.
Yeah. Okay, so mine is very in line with that. Even me, I was like, Kendi, how would you describe me? First, she's like, what is describe?
Yeah.
I was like, what? Like, how am I? How am I? She's like, you're big.
Okay.
And she said, I'm loud. She said, I'm big and I'm loud, and
Okay.
that's, I feel like
That's big and loud. So today I asked Miguel, how would you describe me in one word? And he just said, and it was so natural. He's like, beef. Imagine. By the way,
let me tell you, teenagers
are like your beef. You're just beef.
Okay, he's a teenager.
Miguel is 15.
Oh my god, but he's old enough to describe you like you're beautiful.
Imagine, and he chose beef.
Yeah,
so
I'm a
that's
bit of
what
a strict mother. I'm a bit of the disciplinarian. Okay, guys, so you sent in a couple of questions. We'll be answering them as we eat. Spares is here doing the catering for us. I hope you ladies are hungry.
And I've saved myself.
As we start the first round. This is Chef Omodo from Spares.
Let me start with my boss. Sorry.
Really, Omodo.
You forgive the bias.
I didn't, I promise.
This is basically it's a celebration of the humble carrot. So it's been done 4 ways. We have a pickled version, we have a puree version, we have a carrot mousse, and then we just have it raw. And it's been accompanied by a chicken roulade. So basically what I did, we deboned the chicken, and then we blanched it, and then we finished in the oven.
So amazing.
Oh,
thank
my
you, Chef.
I was waiting for you to say that it's into a carrot.
White carrot.
How? Carrot from where?
Okay, so as we begin, as we eat, you guys will have to multitask. But we are women, please continue eating.
Thank you.
The first question is, how was the transition into motherhood? How was the transition? Postpartum, manenos, and everything. Yeah.
Memorable.
Memorable. I had I had a bit of postpartum depression with my second one, but not with my first one. And I put that down to I think I had a lot of pain with my second one. Then pregnancy was very difficult, carrying Keyo, and then had baby, and I was just tired. I was in pain, and I felt this is not working. It's not working. I had hemorrhoids, and then so mostly that, and it's just like pain of do I want this person?
Yeah.
I know. So, but this for me, I don't have sleepless nights, obviously. so that really helped with the postpartum depression.
At least, yes.
But other than that,
everyone goes through their own version of postpartum, yeah? But is there anything that's similar in everybody's case? Like, what was the general feeling? And it might not be very, I don't know what the word is, whether it's aggressive, but it's different levels of postpartum. So what did you guys go through, and how do people prepare? How would you advise someone to prepare for that?
I feel like everyone goes through some version of the blues, like either just like the slight blues of like, okay, wow, this long process I've just finished, and now here is the beginning of the life. Like this is the beginning, all the way from there to like postpartum depression, which thank God I've never experienced, but I've definitely experienced blues. In fact, I've hardly ever met a woman who has never experienced blues.
Okay, but my question is, right? That was the first. I mean, for me, I thought it was because that's my first child. And I was like, Manze, I didn't know anything. It was so painful. People lie. They just show you this beautiful, amazing life of motherhood.
Beautiful experience.
They have all these planned photo shoots when their baby is not crying, when they're not throwing themselves on the floor, when they're not trying to kill themselves. You know what I mean? With like all these sharp objects, people just show you a very different side of it. So I felt like, no. People just need to tell you, like, it's very difficult, you guys. And it doesn't matter it doesn't matter how much money you have, and you can get like 10 nannies. No, as in just the whole process of whether it's adoption, by the way, as well, it's also a very different transition to how you used to live, you know. And then your body is, you know, changing. You're hormonal all the time, you know. You're breastfeeding, but it's not enough, and then you want to be this awesome. I think it's a lot, and people who tell you that they're not as stressed are probably just lying. Because especially
they're lying.
So I wanted to ask her, like, so even was it the same for every kid? Because
no, it's definitely different. So with my first one, since I was 20 and in university and I was not married, it was obviously a super different experience. Like it wasn't difficult because like, you know, in your mind when you already know you're about to experience something difficult, it's like you brace yourself. So it's like you're more ready to get, you know, what's happening. So the experience was extremely different from like now. With these other two, at least I had a partner, I was financially stable, so there's things that you don't have to worry about, like on top of worrying about just raising the baby. Now you don't have to worry about buying formula, and you don't have to worry about affording diapers, you know. So it's definitely been a different experience. But I also feel like about this thing of like the narrative people have about like, okay, motherhood is just like, it's so beautiful, it's so nice, because I get that all the time. People are always like, wow, your baby never cried.
Excuse me, I'm not recording when they cry.
Busy trying to, exactly. But I also feel like motherhood is one of those things which you just can't describe to someone until they become a mother. Like how
you know, it is relentless.
Like marriage as you well. You really can't explain until you're in there.
That is a wonderful point that she has made, that you won't understand it until you're there. It's the same with marriage. You will not understand why people do certain things, or maybe people make certain decisions until you're married, and you're like, oh, you're right, it is.
You know, I've just imagined you with the baby, and the baby's crying. You're like, hi guys, my child is crying. We don't show those things. We don't talk about that, because that's one of the questions about mom shaming. Have you guys had that, especially those with millions of followers and approaching millions? And how do you deal with it? Especially, and I suppose it ties in as well with the in-laws, because in-laws can be nasty. Not this one. This one. Very good in-law.
She's married to my cousin brother.
In-laws can be nasty. So I mean, have you experienced mom shaming from anyone? Not necessarily.
Let me tell you, I'm just like, sir, at which level? Unajua kwanza unatoka tu tayari because you're in this job that I do, right? So already there's that.
Just even a poster with a picture with no caption.
Why have you done? Why are you alive? You know, like, so I think for mom shaming, for me, I didn't really experience it. I was just aware of it. You know, it's like one of those unwritten rules, or some of those things where no one says anything, but you know, they look down on you, like surrogacy. You know, no one's gonna be like, don't do it, but then you just
know they think you're less of a mom.
Yeah, especially if you come from very traditional conservative families. They'll be like, but why can't you just carry the child? You know, so I think for me, it was just that pressure for the industry, where I remember the minute I started saying, oh, I am expecting, which was such a happy moment. It's one of the best
Everybody
times when you
like,
find out. Everyone was like, Sasa, now you've just lost your job. I remember my friends who were like, I remember my bosses trying to hire people who went, because they were like, of course
before even.
Yeah, because they were like, you're going to be a mom, then definitely you will quit. Like you know.
Or you will be able to give 100% to your job.
Yeah, I think that's how they looked at it.
And they never think that of men.
No, just congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. You will juggle.
And then over and above that, there was just the pressure now you put on yourself as moms, as women, which needs to stop. It needs to stop.
Which is why we're wearing divas. I know you guys expected us to be dressed up in what's that, guys? The brand you represent? Bitna and nanny. Today we're in divas because we are mothers. I mean, this is the most comfortable thing we wear. First of all, and we're home. Yeah.
So we just have to be. It was just so. I remember when I was when I just gave birth and I didn't want to look like that. So I remember I got this belt that I was wearing, and I heard about it when I was watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So I was like, "Iyo ndio belt nitagex. Iyo ndio unavaga. Mimi nitatafuta." I was wearing it 24/7. I remember this one morning I fainted.
Of course you did. I knew you were going to say you fainted.
Yeah, people walk around with these belts. You're just dying. You can't even breathe. All for what? They took me to hospital, rushed me to the ER. They don't know what's wrong. I just can't breathe. So we reached 2 calls. So I find out what it is. I tell my husband, I'm like, Checky, you can't tell my mom because my mom was there. I'm like,
don't tell her it's vanity. Don't tell her it's for beauty.
It is. Tell me something to do with the baby. Just tell her.
Okay, let me ask you guys a question. So for the mom who's watching, and by the way, I hope we're not horrifying you by this.
We are going to tell you the truth. You need to make
what is the advice that you would give them as a new mom with reference to mom shaming? Like, how do you deal with it?
Just
how
know about it yourself. There's no rule.
There's no rule.
And even the different kids I was seeing you saying they're different.
Yes.
There's no rule. Kama wewe hauna maziwa, unajaribu. Then just feed them at night or during the day.
Exactly.
Then you can supplement.
The formula.
There you go. And people will be like, "Kwa napatia familia kama na kwa sababu sina maziwa, wewe ndio unanunulianga hiyo familia."
Yeah, and I would always encourage moms not to call themselves first-time moms. This is something you will never hear a dad say. Ati I'm a first-time dad. There's nothing like that. But women give themselves pressure and excuses to be mediocre, to make mistakes. Like, you're confident. You go do it. It's your child. You know exactly what your child needs. You don't have to be like, oh, I'm a first time. No, who cares? Everybody's a first time mom. I've never raised Keyo.
That's true.
I've never raised Kendi.
All your kids have they're so
and
different.
at different years. Literally, Kendi this year is not who she was last year.
That's a question specifically for you on that note. How does being a feminist and a mother to a boy affect motherhood? That was one of your questions.
Absolutely. And I like that question because it's like, because it's like people think that feminism is about hating men, but really feminism doesn't have time to hate men. Like, we are so busy trying to get women and girls the same opportunities as men that we can't waste time hating men. So feminism is about let everybody, regardless of sex, be able to access opportunities, jobs, love. It doesn't matter. That's what feminism is. Now imagine a person who has that understanding raising a child. See, that's the best person to raise a child. Like, you'll raise your child to be like everybody deserves to access anything they want. You want to be a princess today, Keyo? Sure, you be a princess. You're not a princess, but in your brain, you can be a princess today. It's not going to take away anything from you.
And I feel like that's
Murugi.
Yeah, Murugi Jones, that's my name.
Yes.
How do you ensure that between your second and third child, one of the questions was, how are you able to give attention to each of the children, so that you don't end up feeling, for me and Bella and Miguel are 10 years apart, so Miguel got all the attention so that he needed for a long time. But when Bella came, even now I'm really more intentional. But for you, and the age gap is not that big between the last two, how do you do that?
you know, one thing that I learned from my mom in terms of her style of parenting is that there's no point in my memory that I ever remember feeling like I even have sisters. Like she'd have such a special way of interacting with each of us that when you're with her, you just feel like you're the only one. She's not here and then she's calling this other one or whatever. She's always just present, and that's exactly what I try to do. Like I don't script it in my mind or whatever. It's just I try to be present in each moment for each child. So like for example with Mukeni, when I'm dropping her in school and picking her up, that's special time just for the two of us. And then also sometimes when the chef wants to give us more food. It's about being intentional about having time individually with each of the kids, and then also having time together so that they can know like also I have these brothers and sisters who mom also loves, but she also loves me.
Oh, I'm vegetarian. Yeah. So you know, also my doula Lucy told me when I had Keyo, spend all of your time with the older child and ignore the baby completely. Only when you need the baby, like when the baby needs you, that's when you give them the attention, because the baby will not remember.
Baby as in when a baby is baby. Okay.
Newborn, the newborn will not remember, but the older one will remember how you gave all your attention.
Yeah.
So forget about the baby. Only when the baby needs you, you're breastfeeding, you're changing, then literally give the baby to somebody else and spend all your time and attention on the older child.
Gave me that advice and it really helped actually.
Yeah, because the baby does not remember.
Yeah,
they're not cognizant of what's going on. Mommy is ignoring me.
That is so true here.
I mean, a question for you, and for everyone actually. What traditions do you guys have with your kids, like that are specific to your children? Anything, any tradition, any culture, like that's the child will always remember. Like mom and I did this, or mom and I always did this, or always said this. Are there any traditions?
Like Sunday lunch, we always
oh my gosh, we always have Sunday lunch.
We're helping you along.
Okay. So Sunday lunch is
Sunday lunch out, yes.
Yeah, Sunday lunch.
I think like so I'm not talking about to swim. And then I bought a bike to actually cycle.
So did you
I tried. No, the bike, it's still there. I was like, I want him to remember how he used to have bike rides with mom.
Yeah.
I think I'm embarrassed. I've been trying. He's now almost 7. He's turning 7 in June. So those are and then we bake a lot together. And I specifically, I do it with intention. Say, Tiati, I love baking. No, it's just that I want him to actually remember I used to bake. So I didn't even know that was a thing. I just wanted him to have such good fond memories. And the cake one, I was like, so okay, every Saturday when we can, we have to bake.
I love that.
So we try.
What do you have, Esme? Do you have?
Yeah, okay, first of all, we started the thing of prayer. It was something we're not doing consistently. So reading stories is one thing with Bella. Consistently doing that every single day. And I used to do it at night, and I used to realize I was so tired. So I now do it like when I come home. When I come home at like 4, 5, 6, I'll do the story when I still have energy. So that the time for usually bedtime, if I'm saying the story and she's there, I'll fall asleep. I'll fall asleep. I am so tired.
Let me tell you, that is motherhood in a nutshell. You read the story, you fall asleep
for yourself. You're reading it for yourself.
And then now with prayer. In fact, when Miguel turned 13, I'm like, hey, this child is growing. What does he have as a foundation? So that I panicked, and now I started introducing him. I panicked really. And now introducing him more into the Word of God. As Catholics, we used to only engage with the Bible once a week, but now we do it every single day with the 10 minutes with Jesus. I'm sure you guys have seen that. So we read the Gospel, and then now we listen to the 10 minutes Jesus. Of course, Bella blacks out at minute 2.
Conveniently.
But because I feel like John's always with her kids, or maybe it looks like it.
It looks like it, but I'm really not. I mean, people like these are 15-second stories, but it seems like I'm with them all the time, but I'm really not.
On that note, self-care. How do you guys take care of yourselves? Before we dive into the self-care question,
I think
we're back.
I wish you guys could see what we're eating.
I'm so sure this salad we're eating because of Joanne. They had to be.
Of course, mamboga. Joanne, you told us.
My goodness.
Thank you. We try to be local, but this is beautiful.
Yes, so this is basically my take on a garden salad.
Oh, this is
so it has basically all vegetables we could find in the market, and in the center there's a balsamic glaze and honey mustard dressing.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, ladies, we were on the self-care question.
Yeah.
How do you guys take care of yourselves? You guys are all, I mean, you're all so busy. So, at what point do you take care of yourselves, and how do you do it?
Like this.
I literally currently
I'm
taking care of
once a
myself.
week. Should this
Welcome
do
to
this like once
self-care.
a week?
I literally do self-care every day.
Mm-hmm.
Small things, light a candle, sit in my room. I sit in my room and I ask my children for quiet time. So quiet time is something that anybody in my house can ask for. If we're riding in the car, if we're at home, it doesn't matter where we are. Anybody in my family can ask for quiet time, and they get 5 minutes of uninterrupted silence.
Wow.
So
Even the kids,
any one of them can ask for quiet time, and we all shut up. Yeah. So people know that they have that
opportunity.
That opportunity.
Like, just give me a break, guys.
I need a break. I just need quiet time to recoup. You know,
having a fight with your husband and he says I want quiet time.
I know.
for us, we've never asked for quiet time. Funnily
Because I'm
enough,
like, you better
we
not.
yeah, I know. Funnily enough, we've never asked for quiet time from each other. That's interesting. Yeah. But yeah, so I ask for quiet time and they leave me alone. So quiet every single day. Self-care.
Yeah. For me, like self-care in the morning, like when I go to the gym, for me that's self-care.
Yeah.
Because I feel like any moment where I'm not in the physical presence of my children, I feel like I'm taking part in self-care.
Did they hear you at the back?
Children,
Even at the supermarket.
Yes, even at the supermarket sometimes, or even how you drive home, then you just sit in the car for a while on Instagram. Without going to the house, that's self-care, you know. And then there's the bigger things like, okay, going shopping, going to do your hair, going to do your nails. But there's also the small things like in between which really make a difference.
Because that essentially is just taking time for yourself.
Yes.
And doing something you enjoy.
Yes.
On your own, for yourself.
On your own.
I mean, I look at me like,
I'm not.
Okay, what do you do for self-care, Amina?
I'm telling you, Joanne is absolutely right. Every single minute I'm not with my son. Selfcare.com.
But that's just we love you. If ever you watch this video, we love you so much.
Really
We
do.
love you.
It
Just
just
takes
takes so much.
I've never felt like
It takes a lot out of us.
And then the other thing is, it's so nice that I have a son, so they bond so much with my husband. So like, if he wants to do something, like now they have a relationship whereby I can be like, okay, you guys go and play the games, and then me, I just chill in the house.
Yeah.
And then I think something that's also very important, ladies, that we don't do when we're dating is that we do not look at our partners and think, okay, are you a reliable father? Like, do you love being a dad? Do you want to be a dad? I think that thing for trapping a man is maybe a thing that people used to do back in the day. Right now, you can you're independent enough to take care of your child. You can look after your child, so you don't have to trap anyone. So that thing for trapping ended a long time ago.
I surely hope so.
Meaning
I
that
surely
see,
hope so.
you know, sometimes you can't tell if someone is going to be academic, but you have to be very careful. Contraceptives are free in government hospitals, and it's very affordable in all of these health facilities. We are all adults. For those of us who know, if you're aware, you're educated, you have no excuse to say, oh my God, oops, I did it again. No, like you knew what you were doing.
He impregnated me.
Yeah.
Why you are present?
In some instances where it was maybe he was a perpetrator, those ones are excuses.
Those are different.
Where you went and you consciously, you know what I mean? And I'm not talking about the one night stands. You're the one 10. You're the one in every
because
10.
you don't have a
No, I'm just saying, like, that one, if it happens now, I'm just like, I'm so sorry. I don't know what to say. I'm talking about the one where you're in a loving relationship and you keep telling him, babe, I really think we should have a family, start a family, and he's like, I don't know. And then you end up getting pregnant. Let me tell you, it is so difficult to raise a child, even when you have a partner. So I always take my hat off to single moms because unajua siku zingine unataka tu kukaa peke yako.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that person who you can be like, unajua nini, chukua mtoto wako. When you start saying mtoto wako, you know.
That's when you know there's an issue. You need a break, right?
Your child.
Please, that support system is going to be so helpful at every stage of your life.
It's actually such a different experience, like having been a single mom and like now raising kids with my husband. It's just so nice. Like sometimes you just hear the baby crying, and you know when you're a single mom, you're the only one.
Yeah,
you're the only one who has to get up to get the baby. Exactly. Like now you can be like, okay, I'll get it. You just rest. It makes
you know. And I was telling my mom how when Martin walks in the door, I become lazy.
I know. Instantly, just like
lazy bones.
Yeah, I know.
Keyo is screaming. He's fallen. Okay.
Okay, ladies, now that we are on the topic of babies and baby making, for those women who are, there are many questions from women who are extremely busy, juggling everything. Do you guys schedule intimacy?
No.
Okay.
Sometimes.
No, but you see, I'm not saying no that, oh my God, I would never, ever, ever. It's just because
Is this the right now you don't?
no, I'm saying that my life right now is flexible enough for us to not need a schedule.
Okay.
But in the event that you do, I feel like you should have a conversation like Wednesdays.
Please.
Or something and also.
Or even,
Okay,
or
okay,
even.
Mama in an
Like it doesn't have to be a standard.
Okay.
I mean, they're children.
On a certain day, they're not children. Where are you?
That day better be up.
Guys.
I want my way right now. Are you ready, baby?
Enough from Amina. Hey.
But we're just saying that actually space food is amazing.
That's what
That's what we are saying.
it brings out a very different side.
Why don't we have behavior? Why are we like
We
this?
do. I don't have
Yeah, so I'm
So you were
saying like
saying-
not even if it's not like every Wednesday, it's like on Wednesday by the way it's on.
Okay,
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
that.
like something like that. So that's why I'm saying sometimes. Most of the time it's just spontaneous, but sometimes you're just like, hey, Wednesday, I have a free time between this and this. The children will be at ABCD. We have the house.
We have the
What about you,
Yeah.
I've never really scheduled it, but like me, I schedule it myself. So me,
All women.
All women already know what you're wearing, how you're smelling, how the room has been set.
Why are you serving dinner naked?
Yeah. So me, I'm aware. Him is not necessarily aware. So
That makes sense.
That is scheduling.
Yeah.
Okay, so women do it, eh?
Lord,
Have your little schedule.
And for a lot of women, like the older you grow, you know, the more you want some of that.
Correct.
You know?
we once had.
I don't know why we pretend in this country.
Yeah,
The
I
number
know.
one radio show is a show that talks mostly about sex.
Exactly.
The top 5 websites we visit, most of them are porn. But then when we talk about baby making, we're like, they're doing the DD and the doo-doo. What is that?
In our church, we once had
That's why
a
we have so
marital,
many.
in our marital class, they were like, so it appears some of the issues that we're having is sexual, like we're not having enough sex, like one partner maybe feels like you're not having it. So they started this 30-day sex challenge where every day for 30 days you have sex. It doesn't matter how upset you are, if you're upset with each other, it doesn't matter how
Different kinds of sex.
Yes, which doesn't matter whatever.
For 30 straight days or like
For
good.
30 straight days. And
Yeah.
because you see, they are like this, the only way to start having
And
more
period.
sex is to what are periods?
What is that?
The only way to
What
have
else?
more sex
No,
is
guys,
to-
we're eating.
Yeah. In fact, this makes me want to eat more.
It's what? That's the
If you're watching this,
Why, Amina?
my dear in-law, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. If you're home and you're watching this,
She asked,
do it. Pole Sada.
I hope you have headphones, guys. Hey.
Now
Because
another
the way we're
extreme.
going.
Well, not really extreme. How do you guys discipline your kids? Is it spare the rod? Have a conversation?
Yeah.
is there anything we have not tried?
There's
Now,
nothing I've not
the
tried.
most embarrassing thing a child can ever do to you is when you're out in public and they don't listen to you. There's
Yeah.
nothing more
More
disrespectful.
wasa than
You're just
that.
like, kill me.
I have failed.
Everyone is looking at you like you cannot
Ati,
control
ebu kuja
the
hapa.
child.
And they're like, why is your child
Stigma.
crying? Yes.
Yeah.
So you name your child.
Yeah. And you're like, I'm trying, I don't
Just
know.
leave it on.
They're
I know.
indisciplined.
What is the look or what is the signal for your child to know? Guy, if you don't do that,
My eyes
if you
are
don't-
closed.
Your eyes are closed.
No, me.
No. Beef.
Yeah, as we actually have a system. So for every form of discipline that I meet out, I have to count 1, 2, 3. So if I say, Keyo, come here,
That's where I
and he's
learned
running
that from.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I taught you that, Amina.
That was
I
my
was literally
point.
in your house teaching you that. So Keyo is running away. Keyo, come back here. Keyo, 1.
Yeah.
2. He turns around and
I can't
comes back
believe it.
because when I get to 2, 3 is discipline forever.
Yeah.
And I'm so consistent. It doesn't matter if we are in. I have disciplined my children in Primark in London. I'm like, sorry,
Guys,
you think
and you went out of the country?
No, and
without being
because I
arrested.
speak to them in the Luo, I can tell you I'm going to kill you here in this Primark where we stand with a smile on my
Actually,
face.
that's another point.
Why these white people? You think these white people will save you?
See, it's so true because she's saying in Luo. Obero Twadi. Wacha nitoke hapa. Unafikiri hao wazungu watakusaidia? Nitoke tu hapa.
What's the signal you give your kids?
That's crazy.
There's a countdown that goes on.
I taught her the 1, 2, 3.
So I was going to say the 1, 2, 3. So kids, since we're plugging spares, Kitt is actually a sleep trainer and she can help you navigate through the very challenging world of motherhood. And people don't tell you it's challenging. So since everyone looks like they're you know, they have it all together, they're going to work and they can you know, I was just like, my God, I don't know how people, like my issue was sleep training. So Kitt came through and helped me with the sleep training, and my thing is also the 1, 2, 3. So I'm always like, oh my God, if I ever get to 3 and he says I can't do anything, I don't know what I'll do.
So you don't usually get to 3?
No. So when I see it looks like
that's a nice trick.
I get to 5.
Me,
I'm like, I'm gonna count to 5 too. If I count to 5.
Yeah. If you give a promise and then you start.
He just runs. Kumbe goes from her. So Kitt can help you guys.
But you see, the discipline is different. So if it's in Primark, it's a timeout. If it's at home, I can pinch you. I can.
But guys, me, when it comes to discipline, I just feel like either having 3 kids has made me soft, or I'm just unbothered. Like yesterday, I got home.
You are bored. Has made you bored.
I got home.
Just say bored.
I found Kendi has put a whole bowl of sugar and a whole bowl of salt together on the floor.
God,
Whole bowl. Yeah. And I was like, okay, what are you doing? And so I wanted to mix them together to see if it tastes good. Mommy, it doesn't taste nice.
Quickly.
A cold bowl. Now we know.
The best thing to do is be consistent.
Okay.
So if whatever discipline, I have different discipline methods for, let's say, different places that we are at. If you are consistent in saying 1, 2, then discipline, do it everywhere.
You don't start counting to 10.
Because your kid will know, mom will never discipline me in church.
So you follow through.
Mom will never
Okay, I am a bluffer who sees it through sometimes, and then now the guilt for me. I want to go cry. I'm like, I'm a horrible mother.
Yeah, and then you know your kid will learn. You know, real life is not like that. Like if you murder me in your house, you still go to jail. If you murder me outside, you will go to jail. Real life is the crime. You will suffer consequence wherever you are.
Yeah. So me, I feel different levels of guilt depending on the child. And this doesn't mean I have favorites. But when I discipline Ethan, I feel a lot worse. When I discipline Ethan, I feel so much worse. Like I just feel bad because his character, his disposition is so gentle, and he's the kind who will remember like 3 years ago or that day that you said, remember when I was 3 and you did this and this, and then he remembers.
You know, also,
I can beat her, I can pinch her, she'll cry. 1 minute later, she'll just like, Mom, let's play hide and seek.
He forgets he carries it forever.
Yeah, he can really yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So it also depends on the child, I guess.
That is so interesting. I think also because he's older, he will just be
like
you.
But even since he was a child, like even the threat that you're going to punish him is enough for him to start crying.
That's true. Actually, that's a very good point. You need to study your child. So kwa sababu mimi unajua ni mwageto. So sasa ni ukweli na mtu wangu ni babi. So mimi najua, yani for him the threat of you beating him, you pinching him is actually a genuine fear that he has. And so for him, he takes it like torture, or I don't, yani anayona ni kama abuse. It's like, how can you do this to me? But you see, like my nephews are just like, okay, and then after 5 minutes they're good. But then you have to study what kind of child you have. So time out for my son. Time out for my son works more effectively. It's to think about it. They have this whole dialogue.
And he's at the age where he can now think about stuff. And
and then my husband's like, you know, he has feelings. Let's hear out his opinion. I'm like,
opinion 10 now. African mothers are an extreme sport.
What did you do in a foreign land?
Let me tell you, so me, I travel with my children, and I cannot afford for my children to be badly behaved because we are in Heathrow. So wherever we are, I literally threaten, because I speak the Luo to them, I literally threaten them wherever we are. I promise, it's not even a threat, it's a promise. If you do, if you continue doing A, B, C, D, I will end your life here in this land of the foreign people. And these foreign people will not help you. Wow. They'll call the police after I have killed you.
Please say that in law. I just want to, I'm playing the scene in my head. someone
with a
rolling.
So that's actually why it is so important for you to teach your kids your mother tongue.
Your mother tongue. So that you can communicate.
I know, if we knew. If we
You
knew.
don't have a mother tongue? What do you mean you don't?
I have a mother tongue, but I don't know. It's my
Doesn't know
folks just used to exchange. I'm sorry if my parents ever watch this.
You know,
it was just
sort of
insults.
your place.
It was insults. In Doluo, in Konkani, that's all we learned. We learned insults. We didn't learn any other language. I can understand.
So it's not that.
So does Bella
so
know?
many guys.
Bella needs to learn Abrochwadi so that
Just
when
that.
she hears it,
Yeah.
where
the corner of cup,
Bella Abrochwadi.
drop the ice cream instantly.
How do you have to say Alchunayu?
Abromwenyi.
Ah, that's the one. Because she hates me to know it. My mom is low.
Your mom is low?
Yeah.
You know, you look mixed with so many things. I was
I
thinking
know.
you don't know
You're
what your
just
mother tongue is.
exotic.
There's some people who are like that, who are like half Indian, half this, half that, quarter this, quarter
So it's not
they
half.
don't know, like,
Okay.
as specific.
At 16, go on.
Now to serious talk.
What
Joanne,
about-
a question for you.
Okay.
How do you go about co-parenting with a horrible other half? Not that you have a horrible other half, but you're the one who can relate to this question the most.
I fortunately do not have a horrible other half. I have, well, not really other half.
No more.
Like the
exactly.
spouse,
No more
co-parent.
yeah.
not the father or mother of your child, but their partner.
Oh,
You guys are okay. The partner.
Oh.
Yes.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
something. First of all, you would hope that somebody who knows that they have a child who they have to raise would not marry someone who they know would be bad to their child.
Aye,
No,
that's a
not
big
back to
hope.
the, wait. Okay,
That's a
wait.
very
Okay,
big
pull up and come back again. Say like that.
Pull up.
You mean that the partner is the one who's mean to the child?
Yes.
The
No,
partner
no.
of the like now.
Yeah, I
let's say
get
my
it. So now,
baby daddy's
like now,
wife.
see, now
Yes.
Ethan, right?
Yes,
He's not nannies.
Yes.
No.
So
Yeah.
now it's like now Baba
Ethan,
Ethan.
Baba Ethan's
has a
other
bad
half.
wife. Yeah.
Oh God.
So how do you deal with that?
Man's in life.
Where?
Sucks.
Do you deal with that?
Do you exactly?
Do you? I think you deal with the
yeah.
parent. I don't know
You
if
deal
you
with the
deal with
parent.
it and be like,
Yeah.
get your.
Exactly. If in any way I felt like when my son goes to that other home, he's not well treated, he's not loved, he's not given
That
the
would
kind
be
of
end of
request,
that.
that would be the end of that.
Yeah.
Someone would have to fight me in court for me to
That
let
would
him
be
go.
it, yeah, that would
Visit,
be
leave
the end
alone,
of that.
sleep
Yeah.
over. Like by the time you allow for that to happen, you have to have that confidence of like my child is being well taken care of.
So the priority is the child.
So
the rest
the
are side
child,
shows.
exactly,
Okay.
yeah. So if someone is in that situation, me, I would tell them, just
No.
take it to court, and if you're able to prove that this person is actually not,
Good for your child.
then
I just feel so bad, as women, like even you, especially if you're a mom. When you're a bad mother, as a stepmother, it shocks me. See,
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
put a torture,
yeah.
so you
It
know
does.
that the
Yeah.
child is innocent.
Yeah.
You know this child is innocent.
Yeah.
So how can you be mean to those children? So there was a time we realized we were so mean to them their whole life, and I felt so bad we didn't know.
In fact, if I
Unfair,
felt
the
like
baby.
I was so upset that I was not able to give appropriate care to the child,
Yeah,
I would
remove
rather
yourself.
I would rather remove myself because the child didn't deserve to suffer.
No.
Okay. Nannies, how do you pick them and how do you go through
Is
orientation?
it time for the next course?
Joanne is me. Joanne, we are the same. I know.
No, me, like I like my feeding window to be
I hear you.
Tell the chef to
I
hand.
hear you.
and now Space has already now
It's already wetted.
you see, so now it's your fault actually.
Yeah.
It's Space's fault.
Yeah. So me, I do something strange that I think many people don't do.
Wait,
And when I
who's the
tell
person? How
them,
do you nannies? How do you
Nannies.
pick them and how do you orient them into
yeah,
your
when
how
I
you
tell
want things
people
done?
how I hire nannies, they're always like, I hire a nanny. The interview is 1 week long. You come to my house every single day and you work for a week. And if I don't pick you, I pay you for the week.
That's a good idea.
I just got a new
Literally.
nanny who's worked for 2 days now. That's the trend.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, this is an interview.
Is she good or is she not good?
no, you see, okay, so this is another thing that I usually do. When I go to interview a nanny, who I haven't interviewed for 3 years because I've had the most amazing nanny, but not she has to go because she has a back problem.
Oh, man.
But, I usually used to go with my son. So what I would do is I just want to see how you naturally just relate and
Yes.
play with the child as
Yes.
we're doing the interview.
And
Yes.
children
What happens
have a
is
very,
if you are
very-
not, they do. They really,
Yeah.
really do.
They can
So
sense.
they can sense and they can sense. And then also you can't fake it because you don't
No.
have my child. You think because I need a nanny, I don't have anywhere to live.
No.
Because I came with him. No. Sisi kama waborante tunakonga wengi tunazana wengi. So I have so many cousins to drop him at. I want to see how you're going to tend to him.
Yes.
When a child walks in the room and you're not like, oh, Baba, then are you really for children?
Yeah.
So I'll see it throughout the whole time how you're like, and then you're distracted by the child because you love children.
Yes.
So that's what I used to do.
And
But
you want a job.
my son was in school and I feel like they're not really bonding. But then now my nanny who's leaving, it's like she's now also a mother. So she's so in love with my son that she's like, I'll still be coming every day. I mean, I'll just see him and then they have a very close
drum rolls, the main meal is coming. Yes, chef, what are we eating?
Wait, chef.
I'm nervous to start eating.
Even me. Because it was so good.
Wow.
So you're having teriyaki salmon. Yes, with mashed potatoes and warm tartar sauce. Normally tartar sauce is cold, but I played around with the ingredients a bit, so we're going to have it warm today.
Wow.
Enjoy.
Very nice.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Please enjoy.
And it's a big piece of salmon.
Yeah.
Sometimes you know
It's so
sometimes
thick.
I'm like, where's the rest of it?
Anyway, Esmeralda, I'm really impressed. I really thought you were going to give us small bitings, you know. Like, no, because generally when people have many courses, the portions are very small.
Yeah. So enjoy. I'm here, we cut you short.
No, I was saying, I was just talking about the nanny. Okay, if you have a career, I'm a career woman, and I love working. I love being independent. I love good things in life. That's why I work so hard, genuinely. And I don't like asking for help. It's a problem. I think it's an issue. But you just like paying for things, so then you want to enjoy your own life and not have to beg for it.
Or explain why.
Explain why you spend X amount on some random. Kama ni yako, hakuna mtu anakuuliza. Nobody, I'm just coughing on my food. Nobody asks you anything. So for the working women, if you're wondering how do people who are so ambitious make it to the top, it's very difficult to have it all out. So the support system, like I said, is important. You need an understanding partner who knows where you're going. Maybe nilipokutana na mzee wangu nilimwambia, listen, you're cute and everything.
You're cute and all.
I am very ambitious, I'm goal oriented, and this is what I'm trying to do. Me, I'm a mogu in the making. Hello. So he knew from the get-go the kind of individual that he was getting, you know, to know. And you know, so when he was like, you know, I'm serious about our marriage, I was like, bro, mimi niliposema nataka kufanya job, I don't know if you understood.
Did you hear me?
And so he was very aware. So one, you need a partner who understands the kind of career you're into, the kind of job you're doing, and the kind of job you want to do.
But also, when you brought a good point of communicating what so you manage his expectations.
No, I think
don't pretend to be a housewife. When you know deep down inside that's
you
not
don't want
you.
to be,
So that
but sometimes you can't
communicate that from the beginning.
When Zach and I got married, I had no idea that I would be doing the job that I am.
No, but
doing
you
now.
see, you also knew you were supportive enough.
And you were supportive exactly
in whatever you want to do.
Exactly.
Those are the traits I'm talking about.
Yeah. And not you can always tell at the beginning.
You can.
Just like of course you
do
can do what you want,
but
kufungulia kabiashara. Especially when we have the children, you know, we can't trust people.
I actually
you can hear.
Please
and
believe
don't
them.
like you can't.
Please believe them when they tell you the truth.
You know, the other thing is that we're pushed as women. We're constantly pushed towards the institution of marriage so much.
And home, stay home.
That is what you need. That is what is important. And so we focus less on the kind of partner we are getting hooked up with, and more so the fact that you're about to get a ring. So you compromise and let go of so many things. You're like, okay, I had said I will never be with someone who, for example, like now mine is just violence, like I can't fight back. So I'm just, it's so, and you can see those signs, so don't let go of those things. Don't because now you're like, oh my god, I'm 30, I'm 35, I'm not married. Don't, because a lifelong of misery awaits you. There's so many people who are in such sad relationships, such sad marriages, because there's so many decisions.
That is not my husband.
Martin, if that's you riding around, we're trying to do a live.
That is not him.
But I like what she said about it's really important if you want to live a happy, well-balanced life. Having help is important. And it doesn't have to be. It can be two households. Even the number of times I've put
you need to have.
And guys are like, what kind of woman has two houses? Can you do nothing in that house? I'm like, yes.
The Proverbs 31 31, the woman has female servants.
Exactly.
With an S at the end.
First of all,
servants.
I'm like, if I can pay someone to do it, I'm going to.
You know, so that
and to have peace of mind at work, you need to know that your kids are well taken care of, that they are not starving, that someone has not forgotten to feed them, see what.
So I think in summary, it's just do what is best for you and your family, and get the best support, and that works in with part of the balance. Just as quick tip when you're talking about orienting the nannies, what I do is I have a list of things that I need done weekly. That's how we started, and she's been with us for 5 years. So I just tell her this is what I want to do weekly. Just have a schedule of how you want your house run if you're very particular like some of us. And that helps. So then they get into their own system after that.
And me, I even ask them to make the schedule. And they make the schedule. They make the menu. They change the menu. Ruth changes the menu every week. She changes the menu. So it's not at every Wednesday chapati.
Because these people are very intelligent.
No, it's because Wednesday there's the other thing happening, kids. We're not eating.
Wednesday is not for Wednesday.
Wednesday is for eating one another. But let me tell you, the hardest thing is getting a nanny. So don't think again it's unique to you. No, you're not the devil. No, you're not evil. There are times nannies just really go.
Please teach people. Please teach your nannies right.
Oh, you should.
Please, that's a major thing.
You really should.
Buy her presents. People who are taking care of your children.
Treat her as an employee.
You don't care more about your sofas, your TV than you do about your child. So you cannot talk rudely or be bad. Just be. You can. What is this called? You can always talk to them and communicate about things you don't like, but be very clear in how you air out your frustrations, because your most valued possession is your child.
And so, contract guys, please.
I think I've never had a contract.
Do a contract so that it's we can really change this. We can formalize this industry, and we can make people, like training, and you have what's it called, career progression and salary increase and NHF. We can do all that.
On that note, Rose has to just check on Teresa. We've just made her hide that side. There's a comment that was just made. You need to be here for it.
The best salmon I have ever eaten in my whole life.
So good.
Like the balance of the sweet and the salty is just so perfect. Oh my god.
Okay, now ladies, back to the questions. What's the one thing that you emulate from your mom? Kelele. Miguel would say the same about me.
Have you just tried it?
Being very understanding.
This is Kate taking half of my salmon. Just let it be known. It was that good.
No, they did not.
Now I'm the host. So I have to give it to her. What's the one thing you emulate from your mom?
You emulate or you hope to emulate?
Both. Like, what's the one thing that you want to pick from your mom?
For me, because it's something I want to emulate, but I don't feel like I'm there yet. It's just the grace with which she approaches anything in life. Like, there's nothing that I ever. It may get very flustered by situations like, oh my god, by the way, we need to get to school. We need to I'm very is it excitable or I just get really wound up about something. You've not yet done your homework, but you can see it's already with her. She never panics. Even it could be the worst situation. It's like, oh my, what are we going to do? No, she just does not get up, and that's what I want, because I feel like that has allowed her to get through so many seasons in life without it giving her high blood pressure and getting stressed.
Ask her if she was like that when she was your age.
I'll ask her.
Ask her, because
maybe adultish is when I remember her being
so
that.
Ask her if she was like that. Maybe she got there.
And
so you give yourself grace.
Exactly. But I hope to have that just calmness and just grace and clarity of thought through life's issues.
Other than Kelele, Amina.
A prayer. I think my mom is extremely prayerful.
Hey, by the way,
when you have your family, first there's that foundation of God, and I know that.
You and God.
Me and Corona, and I know, I'm not saying that, and I know, as I say this, it's gonna be like, oh, you're the one talking about religion, but it's just that it's important to pray. My mom is extremely prayerful, and I think that's what, you're right, your mom has grace. My mom never panics. My dad is on who used to panic. He passed away. My dad used to freak out, but my mom is always so gracious. Every single time she's like, it's almost like she expected it. So even when my dad died, I remember, because I was right there with her, she was like, because we were trying to not tell her, we didn't know how to break it to her. And she said, just tell me. And she said, okay. And then she said, alhamdulillah, it's okay. And then she went ahead to pray for him. because they're just stronger people than us, I think. And that's so interesting. You know, with women, you think the other woman has it all figured out, and the other woman has it all together. And what you don't know is that that other woman
is looking
at another, or even to you, and she's like, yo, Joanne has it all. I wish I was as confident as Joanne. I wish I was like as disciplined as Kitt is. I really wish I had a business and a family and a husband like, you know, like Esmeralda. And it's just, life is just, it's crazy, but I wish prayer was there.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, you said it.
Even what you pick
definitely they're praying. Like me, my mom, like if I want something, I just ask my mom, please, can you ask God? Because he, you know, you and me,
those direct
direct line. Yeah, so I think it's also the prayer. I want that. I've not gotten it. I pray for my children, but I could do more.
For me, it's presence. My mom was always present. Like for anything I had in school, when I wanted to start the business, you know, just support and presence. Just always there. I speak to my mom every day. In fact, today she probably caught a feeling that I've not had time with her. She really actually sincerely catches a feeling. Like you've not spoken to me today.
Even my mom.
I do have
after 30-something.
No. It does not end.
Imagine even my mom catches one day.
And what do you think? What's the one thing that you think your kids will pick from you?
I hope they don't pick my confidence.
My children are definitely going to pick my discipline. Like if you say you're going to do something, do it. Because you said.
I mean, now what do you think they're going to pick?
What do I think, or what would I want them to pick?
What? Both.
Well,
they're going to pick.
You know, it's so funny. So me and my husband, like, we talk about things that we hope our son takes from us. So one's like, wow, I hope he keeps time like you. I'm kidding. But we're just like, I hope he picks my kindness. You know, I really love giving back. And so I teach him so much about giving back. And so when we are even in traffic and you see someone asking for money, he's like, Mom, you have to be kind, you have to share. We just ate lunch. So I'm so happy that he's very aware of that. Because you know, it's where I came from. So I came from a place of lack, and so I'm very aware. No matter where I go, no matter what I ever achieve, I will always, my thing is always, my narrative is to tell young girls who live in places where, or have just, you know, they're very poor or come from very humble backgrounds, I want them to know anything is possible, just put your mind to it and work very hard. So that's always my thing.
I wonder what my kids would pick for me, but I have a child. I have a child technically who's present. Rose. Rose, come. Don't run away. Rose has been part of Spurs for the last 8 years, so I consider her actually my firstborn. Rose, what is the one thing that you would have learned from me as your mother?
I would have learned, or
you have.
What have you learned from the past 8 years? Actually,
the one thing that you.
It's communication and showing up. It's communication and showing up. I was very bad at communication.
You are?
Yes.
As a chick? Hey.
Yes. Like I try to hide and run away when I know, and I still do that. But that's one thing that she's taught me. Like if you have a problem, just say this is the problem. If you have a solution, give it. Whatever it is, just communicate what it is. Share your feelings.
I think the girl was saying Thank you, Rose. As before,
I want another thing to talk about. Another thing that I hope my children get from me is the belief that there's nothing it's played.
No, just show. I am proud of what I have done here today.
My sermon as well. Proud.
Of your achievement.
Please, I know that needs to come out.
Yeah, I hope they get the belief that there's nothing that is beyond your reach for you to do. Like there's nothing which someone can tell you, no, that's not for you, that's not for you, that's not for someone as young as you, that's not for someone who studied what you studied. I want them to know that anything you want, you can get. Anything you want, there's nothing which is beyond your reach for you to get.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Are there any ghetto details about motherhood? What's the ghetto side of motherhood?
Okay, I mean, I don't know if it's really the ghetto side, but it's okay to just mess up. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to be late to pick up your kid from school, or to forget a certain day. Like
even
the day
to
was
forget
there.
to pick up your kid.
Not graduation, but graduation is really important.
My son, I cried. My God.
You know, we really, let me tell you, every time I ask my partner, I'm like, babe, do you usually have like dad guilt? Is like, what's that?
What is that?
Yeah, they don't.
They don't know because they're like, oh, I messed up.
And they mess up
As
so
moms,
hard.
we put ourselves
Yeah.
through so much pressure. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, so she was never late. My mom is such a a proper mom. Like she was born to be a mom type. You know what I mean?
Her job was
So
being about
we
mommy.
also a lot of the times compare. You know, so you're just like, wow, I can't believe some. You know, how can I be late? How can I be this? Put ourselves.
And I
through
think
that
you brought up a good thing, because that comes into the question that was asked the most, which is how do you balance? And that's where it comes in, because we try to be everywhere at the same time.
Yeah.
Like literally, I'm here now.
Yeah.
It's going to 2 o'clock. My children have to be picked up at 2 o'clock. I've texted Martin and been like, "Yo, I'm running late.
Yeah,
Please
me
pick up
too.
the children."
Me too.
Done.
Support not taking on more than you can chew, because sometimes, you know, you're trying to be spokesman, so you don't want to say no to anything.
Yeah.
So not taking on more you can chew, and then just delegate. Delegate so many things.
Yeah.
If it does not require my direct attention, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Yani, as moms, it's so crazy. Like now, as I was talking about almost dying because I'm trying to lose weight, the dads don't have that pressure. You know what I mean? Like they're just okay if they add like tomorrow they're like, hey man, this squeeze una kauna lupoa. Okay.
You never hear a man saying, you know, I want the carbs. No carbs.
Never ever. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me, Amina.
Oh, are we saying goodbye?
Yeah, say bye bye. Thank you, Joanne, Esme. Thank you so much for joining me, you guys. Bye.
Bye. What do I do?